the WNBA, Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
And Caitlin Clark has struggled in her first two games. In fact, she is a very, I would admit she is box office. And I think everyone now knows she's box office. Literally, everywhere she goes, tickets are being sold out, her jerseys are being sold out. But let's talk about her team because it's not as good as I was in college. Indiana Fever, in fact, it was very poor last season, and now they've already started the season with two losses. Caitlin Clark had in her first game against the Phoenix Suns, she had 20 points, 3 assists, 0 rebound. 20, actually, she had about 5 points by the end of the half, so she was really struggling. And you could see Alia Boston was talking to her, telling her, obviously, that, this is a different story to college, and she really struggled. And now they came out again in game two, in the second game of the season, and against the New York Liberty, obviously against Sabrina Ionescu, the one watching the All-Star contest. New York Liberty, Brianna Stewart's one of the veterans of the league, and then they played Caitlin Clark's team. She had only 9 points and 6 assists, only 9 points. Even Alia Boston out. Alia is a center and she's a starting guard, so she is really struggling. So what do you think about it? Where do you think this is going for her? Is it going to be as easy as it was in college? Do you see the same ending? Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel, or do you think she's going to keep on struggling for some time?
Look, man, I am very big on grace, right? Grace, it is something I go about in my daily life, right? So, and I think Caitlin came in with so much hype. Yeah, obviously her career at college, impeccable, incredible. I would borrow words from Stephen A, but really had such a great career there, and that pressure followed her, right? And media pushes things, right? And that's what media does. That's why it is there, right? But I think we are taking it too far. We forget that she is a rookie. Victor Wembanyama's first game, he came out of the press conference and said, I didn't know what I was doing out there, but I just don't know. I was there playing, but I didn't know what I was doing. I think we should treat her with the same grace. I think 20 points for your first game debut. Oh, you Caitlin Clark, so they're gonna hold you to a certain standards. But we also need to understand she is still a rookie. Come on now. She is going through that adjustment period. She's just coming to a team that isn't particularly or wasn't particularly that good when you think about it. Please, people, don't. We all know, well, they got the number one pick, which is why it explains how bad they had to be. But
go on.
You're saying?
Go on, carry on.
Like I was saying, like we need to treat her with the same grace. We need to give her that adjustment period. We need to allow her to settle in, to just feel the pressure, correct a couple mistakes. But come on, Malcolm, they are not giving her the 3, yeah? They are closing all the space, top blocking and everything. I'm sure if she gets a couple of days off, she's going to, look at the film, study how they're playing just a little bit. And I think maybe 11 to 12 games in the season, we now can start saying, maybe she is struggling. Maybe she needs to sit a little bit. Maybe, But right now, I think we need to give her the grace to just go through that period of adjustment for every rookie. Doesn't matter how you are. LeBron went through it. Kobe will tell you the same thing. So is Victor or Caitlin Clark. But I think we need to give her that grace.
Obviously, there was a static of 72, which means you've won 90 and lost 72 in all your games in 2 seasons. And he took us to the conference final last year, and he went out. He got eliminated in the first round, and they ended up second him. But specifically about the Lakers, I want to dive into the coaching situation. So we've heard that Mike Budenholzer, who was one guy I liked at NBA champion 2021 for the Milwaukee Bucks has been employed by the Phoenix Suns, who sacked the former Lakers coach. Looks like the former Frank Vogel, who was in Phoenix, is now jobless. Have hired him. Have had Mike Budenholzer. He has come back to coaching after 1 year without a job. After a sabbatical leave, and pretty much all the coaches are employed. All the great coaches are employed. That Lakers is now looking towards assistant coaches like the current guy on this current guy on Timberwolves, who is standing besides when Chris Finch is obviously injured. So he's done that one. I've forgotten his name. And there's also the assistant coach of the Boston Celtics. That's what I'm eyeing too. But we also know that JJ Redick, someone who's doing a podcast with the very own, the famous greatest of all time, your God, King James, LeBron. He's doing a podcast with him. We're eyeing out on him as well. Pretty much the same age with LeBron. In fact, they're all 39 years. We're also eyeing out on him. And since all the great coaches are being employed, we had rumors about Ty Lue, who is in the Clippers, but he looks like he's going to commit to the Clippers. So there's pretty much no coach who's unemployed and who is great because all of them are employed. Eric Spoelstra, he'll never be sacked. Pat Riley will never sack him. I don't know. They'll remain counterparts. So pretty much Lakers is looking for a coach, and it's pretty much assistant head coaches, especially because we fired our whole coaching, our whole assistant coach, everyone, we fired them. So we're looking into JJ Redick is the favorite to become the Lakers head coach. What do you think about that?
So first of all, allow me to congratulate you because I know you are so happy they fired your coach. You were crying every day, yeah? But look, it's been 2 years. He was a rookie coach. Rookie-ish, if you will. But he made the conference finals the year before last year. And this year, me personally, I would give him some grace because I think it was more about the players. Let's not talk about that because that's not the topic. But JJ Redick, my opinion is, come on, man, he is a good coach. He doesn't have experience as a coach, but he has been under the most incredible coaches that you'll ever see as a player, right? Stephen Gandhi, go down the list, Doak Rivers, right? But at the same time, you're like, the experience every time you think. But the other thing that people might not be looking at, if obviously you don't know what's going on, is JJ Redick is a player who is still young, who I think would be more confrontational than other coaches given the relationship he has with players currently, right? So that is a good thing in a sense that he will come in the locker room and say, look, I've been there just recently. Yeah, you can't tell me that you didn't put your hands up. If it was me back in my days, I shoot at the three and you don't put, I'm going to be rolling the whole game, right? So having that locker room will help him, right? And then as for the, plays and strategies, I feel like he can always learn with, as the journey goes, and also with the coaching staff. And you also have, it's got Sam in his back, and with LeBron, of course, it's LeBron. And also the relationship he's got with LeBron might actually help. Do I think the Lakers are going to get him? LeBron wants him. Lakers, I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm not so sure because, and also JJ Redick, if you happen to see this, just know you also not last that much. I'm just saying, because not so many Lakers coaches have lasted long, apart from Phil.
Phil Handy. Is it Phil Handy?
No. Phil Jackson.
No, Phil Handy was the assistant. Phil Jackson,
assistant coach, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, Lakers now need a full reconstruction because
I think
I wouldn't say it's Davenham's fault, but we all know how this ends up. It's the same old story. The coach is always the scapegoat. All the blame is taken towards him. He wasn't okay. We didn't have the greatest rotation. Made some pretty bad decisions. by our executive director, obviously. We made some bad rotations, bringing in Spencer Dinwiddie averaging 2 points per game, in Gabe Vincent averaging 0 points in the playoffs. So bringing in Cam Reddish, who looked like a good sign in the in-season tournament.
But
With
the
his
health
defense,
really deteriorated your team, guys. Like,
victories.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Gabe Vincent got injured. Vando got injured. Our best perimeter defender got injured. Gabe Vincent got injured. One shooter we're relying on after his insane performance in the playoffs in Miami Heat, especially like 6. Obviously it was Gabe Vincent and Caleb Williams, who is now in the Cleveland Cavs. So they really played well. So we signed him thinking, would be better. But our coach Devinham, he didn't have the greatest rotations, especially after we made a mistake in the 20 after selling our big players and after our title in the bubble. Sold Dwight Howard, sold Jamal McGee, sold Alex Caruso, very good defender. Sold KCP, sold Kyle Kuzma just for Russell Westbrook.
Dwight Howard was praying for you guys to bring him out of Taiwan. I don't know what Joe didn't do.
Yeah.
Like, why? He came and worked out for the Warriors. Why didn't you just be like, come on up, let's go? He is the only guy who tells you that he'll guard Nikola Jokic. And if you were able to guard Nikola Jokic, well, the story would be different right now. Sorry, Dwight.
We didn't have... We basically didn't have size, especially this year, and we saw it coming, but we all knew how the story would end up. Is that the coach, obviously, he doesn't make some big calls. Like he waits for a 20 run to call a timeout. His hands are always in his pocket. In timeouts, it's LeBron who's telling them what to do. He doesn't know what to do. He looked disorganized, and that's why AD came out. After we had that press conference from AD. This is going to end, especially after Giannis did this to the coach. I keep forgetting his name, but I remember he said it along the lines of, we look discombobulated, we look disorganized, disoriented, and obviously they sacked him after a record of 30-13. So we also it coming when AD said that we didn't know what to do in both sides of the floor. So that's what. So that continue. Go on.
I mean, I am. Look, I'm not going to put all the blame on Devinham, yeah? Because if my system is AD and LeBron, right, the rest of the guys must be able to play off of that. So what does AD and LeBron do? They play in the post. They are big, post up, can, cause so much damage in the paint. So what do you surround them with? Shooters, Klay Thompson. I'm just saying, yeah? You need a Klay somewhere to be hitting those threes. But I think D'Lo was inconsistent, and he's a point guard. He's not a shooting guard. Austin Reeves, yes, he can shoot, but you've made him so inconsistent in terms of roles. You've made him a shooting. I get it.
Yeah.
You're a role player. You must be able to. But at some point, if they are your starters, they must be able to establish a certain law that if they come in a game, they know I'm gonna be hitting 7 threes, and if that becomes a consistent thing, they're not looking for their shots. They know where they're going to come from, right? But I also still think it was like the surrounding of your best players that kind of caused.
Our supporting cast.
Yeah.
Our supporting cast was not really strong. And the best example of a good supporting cast is the Denver Nuggets. Each of their starters knows what to do. They all know what to do. KCP, he knows he doesn't have to drop more than 10 points in a game, but his impact will be so much crucial than let's say Porter Jr., who will drop 25. His impact in defense will be so much crucial. No steals, deflections, they all know what to do. The whole Mario Jokic and Gordon flash down. We all know that move. But Lakers doesn't really have that move between LeBron and AD. They do it throughout the game, but when it comes to when really in the basket, you see LeBron taking taking the ball, and they forget about AD. So I don't know what happens, but I think that coaching, now we need a coach who's going to be Anthony Davis's coach, because now he needs the keys where every player will run through him, because we've seen how talented he is. And yet, LeBron said he's going to pass the keys to AD, but it still feels like LeBron is, let's say, handling the team in those clutch moments. every play LeBron wants to, he wants to run the place. So we need a coach this time who Eddie is going to employ, if you know what I'm saying. Who Eddie will like, who everyone will believe in and respect. So everyone was like questioning, obviously, the front runner, JJ Redick now, because it's LeBron's friend. But it's still LeBron. We need someone with AD and who they'll respect. And since they're all edge mates, we don't know how it will sound. But hey, we need a reconstruction. We need a better bench, a better supporting cast, a better coach. Obviously,
I mean,
Bellingham was not the coach I wanted from the first. I was even shocked when we beat the Warriors. I was like, how the hell did you beat Warriors last year in the playoffs with Bellingham? I was so shocked. But yeah, I took it because obviously it was against my rivals. But we need a better coach, a better, we cannot keep on relying on LeBron this is going to be his.
But I think also like when it comes to what you'll be doing, like what you did in the playoffs last playoffs, what I saw was a team that wants to play the right way, but still don't know their identity, right? So LeBron wanted to play the right way, hence not giving the keys to AD because they're taking away AD. So what do? I become aggressive. But then how do I put AD in places where he can dominate even when the other team doesn't want him to dominate, right? That is what systems do. That's what coaches do. I'm not shooting at Davenham because I think he did a good job. Yeah, a decent one. But I think to pass the keys to AD, you must surround him with what can become a weapon when he is taken away, right? Now, just like Jokic, you can't double because KCP is going to kill you with threes. So is Michael Porter Jr. So now even Aaron Gordon in that dunker following the three corner, like he's just going to kill you, right? So you need to understand who is around the player that we want to be going through, right? But anyways, let's pray that you'll get JJ Redick. Let's pray for a change of scenery for everybody. We move forward.
Let's see how it goes because every game I need at least 15 combined points from the bench. Not this 0 point stuff. We're done with that stuff. Players are just coming for cardio, man. Me and you averaging the points. Come on. We can't be doing that. And we need Dilo needs to leave because I'm hearing rumors that we want to sign Donovan Mitchell. That would be the perfect person for us. Anyways, we'll speak about the Lakers more later on.